as you are all probably painfully aware of the total and utter inadequate action that the political side of the United Nations has been taking when we're almost 2 years into the genocide that Israel and their principal collaborator, the United States, have been actively perpetrating against the Palestinians in Gaza. There is potentially the potentiality, at least, of something that the UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, could do to change the political dynamics on the ground in Gaza, in Palestine. Craig McIver talked about this in an article he wrote for Mondoweiss, as well as he's being interviewed on the Electronic Intifada about this. So basically, it's the UN General Assembly could institute the Uniting for Peace resolution, which would allow countries, first you would need, I believe, a supermajority, 2/3 of countries to support this resolution, and one of the measures that could then be instituted is a protection force to allow aid to get into Gaza, and there would be troops from different countries around the world, probably helpful if they're coming from different regions around the world. That would be protection forces on the ground to protect civilians, to allow aid to get in, to open humanitarian crossings, etc., all under the banner of the United Nations. And as McIver laid out, there's different aspects of this Uniting for Peace resolution as well. So removing Israel from the General Assembly at the United Nations, applying the anti-apartheid measures, instituting, it's a steep hill, tribunals against the Israelis who have been actively perpetrating this genocide, calling for, these countries to activate a economic and military embargo or boycott of Israel, etc. And again, this is helpful, this process, this Uniting for Peace resolution. It's helpful because it gets around the Security Council's veto, which the U.S. is always going to side with the interest of little Satan, because Israel is the imperial outpost of the U.S. empire in the region, one of them at least. So it would be really amazing if some countries were able to introduce this resolution and get the process started. As McIver in that article pointed out, the UNGA almost a year ago made this declaration that Israel had basically a year to stop the genocide, stop the ethnic cleansing, etc. They obviously haven't done that. There's now active famine going on in Gaza. The ethnic cleansing and the genocide has continued. So McIver points out, it's always been time to do something like this, but now more than ever. You would think there would be enough countries, representatives at the UNGA to get this process started, whether it be, Ireland, Spain, Mexico even, potentially Colombia, right? Colombian president has been pretty vociferous and boisterous in calling out this genocide that Israel is continuing to perpetrate, along with Big Satan, the United States. So we'll see, but it was hopeful to hear that there is some political measures that the UN General Assembly could potentially, the potentiality is there. It's just, will these countries, will these state actors initiate this? I'll link the article from McIver down below, and like I said, there's also an interview with him on Electronic Intifada YouTube. So, free Palestine, all eyes on Gaza.